Welcome back to Timeless Messages from the I Ching. This is Stephen. Thanks for tuning in. So, today I wanted to talk a little bit about the yin yang theory, or feminine and masculine principles in the I Ching. Of course, this comes from an ancient ideology that states there was an original cause, original unified whole. I think it's called Wu Wei, WUWEI. I could be mistaken about that, but the name's not so much important as is the concept of a singular point that eventually decided to split into two different parts. And those two different parts are feminine and masculine, or yin and yang. And so yin and yang are constantly following one upon the other in a harmonious flow, a cycle. And so each aspect of feminine and masculine contains some of the other. So there's some yang in the yin, and there's some yin in the yang. And therefore, it helps because it brings them to a sense of affinity or closeness. They're not there to combat each other. They're there to establish harmony and balance. So I've written some ideas down. I'd like to read these ideas to you. If you'd like to just relax your eyes and take a few deep breaths and have some stress reduction time at this point, why not? So yin and yang, or feminine and masculine, are the primal energies and influences that shape all life. The universe, fate, past, present, and future, and social relations. The harmonious interplay between yin and yang is how everything manifests, evolves, is sustained, and transformed. Achieving a harmonious and balanced interaction between masculine and feminine is a way for someone to conduct themselves to foster peace, health, balance, and harmony. When either yin or yang become excessive, then a person knows it's time to it's time to interject its complementary opposite. Or when life experiences become excessive in either feminine or masculine, then it can be assumed with confidence that the complementary opposite will soon be expressed to help regain the balance. Because there's a part of yin within yang, the yang within yin, then neither energy can dominate indefinitely. And because they each contain a portion of the other, yin and yang will always complement each other. Excuse me. Their differences are to be celebrated, for they are not in a battle, but rather they complete each other over and over. And so the universe and all life are supported by these two complementary opposites. Understanding how to interact with and trust and allow these two complementary opposites is a way to master oneself and one's life. Excuse me. Some water here. No water. I have to push on through. Where was I? 1 second. And this is a good way to understand how negative influences and experiences can eventually lead to positive outcomes, and vice versa. Everything is in a process of perpetual transformation toward harmony and balance, and the ability to understand this offers a hopeful outlook upon life experiences that are challenging. Choices that reflect a balance between yin and yang can look like this. You get an adequate amount of rest and an adequate amount of activity. You take time to sleep and be in the dark for rest and recuperation. You take time to be active and in the sunlight for productivity and completion of projects. You take time to reflect inwardly. You take time to look outwardly. You keep your body warm when it's cold outdoors. You keep your body cool when it's hot outdoors. If you find yourself in a state of worry and fear, then you strive to move toward trust and hopefulness. If you find yourself in the state of delay and procrastination, then you strive to move toward movement and productiveness. If you are at an impasse and find no forward movement possible, then you can move toward accepting the situation as it is and retreating from directly trying to combat the obstacle. Accepting the situation and retreating and not combating things directly can open a way for the situation to transform because you no longer create resistance to that situation. I just want to read this paragraph once more. I think it's interesting. Accepting the situation and retreating and not combating things directly can open a way for the situation to transform because you are no longer creating resistance to that situation. The path of least resistance is valuable because even though you want forward movement and progress, there are times when this is not possible. And recognizing these times is important to your eventual success so that you do not wear yourself out with mistaken effort or struggle that cannot currently produce adequate success due to the conditions of the time. Wait for the conditions of the time to change, and they will change, and then your progress will regain its forward movement. Therefore, know when to retreat and wait for a more favorable time to arrive. Know when to advance. Excuse me, I'm getting all caught up here. Know when to advance and move toward completion. Know when to work on your inner character and expression of your nature. Know when to work on external projects and the expression of your creativity. After a period of sickness and poor health, move toward rest and recuperation and mild movement to strengthen your return to health. After a time of arguing with another person, in the privacy of your own mind, retreat from arguing and have a real communication with this person and share some ways that you appreciate them, even if this is just a text message or a phone call. Or you could practice just in the area of your own thoughts first before you actually reach out and speak with this other person in whatever form you take. After a period of depression and being sedentary, retreat from depression and move toward joyful movement. After a period of unforgiveness toward another person, retreat from unforgiveness and see if you're capable of compassion toward them, even if this compassion remains solely within your own mind. So balance extremes wherever they're found. Balance extremes wherever they're found. And this is really the yin-yang theory at work. As you begin to observe your behavior, you begin to note that sometimes you do go into extreme states: sadness, depression, anger, insecurity, lack of mental equilibrium, stress, emotional stress. Try to pull yourself to a greater sense of balance if you can. Sometimes you can't do it, you just have to go through it. But other times there are little steps you can take to try to move things forward in a gentle way without trying to have a big battle with the situation. So in terms of the I Ching, it's tapping into this particular feminine yin and masculine yang energy. As when I throw the coins in a personal reading or a group reading, the coins are there very specifically laid out, either heads or tails. It's not by happenstance. It's there to reflect the particular energy that the question is asking about. And since everything in the universe is in contact with everything else, the question is a form of energy, and the answer is a form of energy, a response from that initial request. So the way in which the coins lie, either heads up or heads down, will either give us a feminine or a masculine line, or changing lines from feminine to masculine or masculine to feminine. And this interplay of feminine and masculine is truly what is reflected in the process of asking the I Ching for guidance, whether it's about the future, whether it's about a current situation, whether it's about a past situation that you've gone through, you want some guidance on. It's your intention, your question, your energy, your sincerity, all of these things come through, and your energy, of course, is an expression of that feminine and masculine energy at play. And so the I Ching understands that, and it brings to you the particular vibration to which you are seeking guidance for.